Bhai, there is so much criticism of the IPL. I mean, and when you and I are shooting this just about 3 weeks away, we've just seen markets being defied by IPL title sponsorship, 230 crores being raked, serious money. The brand remains robust. What are your thoughts objectively? Something happens, people criticize the IPL. Oh, why is this tournament happening? This is razzmatazz and extravaganza. For me, this provides the cricketing ecosystem that solidity. The money goes not to Virat and MS and the stars, but to everybody. State Cricket Association, broadcaster, media, journalists. The whole cricketing ecosystem benefits from the IPL. Your thoughts, Sunny Bhai, on the IPL?
Totally agree with what you say, but where it all boils down to, where you get this, some of the odd people coming and looking for their 15 seconds or 15 minutes of fame, is the jealousy factor, the J factor, which I wrote about in a column a few days ago. They see the money. They only see the money aspect that is there in the IPL. They haven't actually thought about what the IPL does. Like you said, to the ecosystem, it's not just the players. You look at the cottage industry around it. The guys who are at the grounds, who paint people's faces with the colors of their franchises, who are making those shirts. Yes, I know they are counterfeit shirts. They're not the shirts, which the sponsors are paid lots of money to the franchise for. There are these, the vendors who have food stalls over there. There are the rickshaw drivers who take people to the ground. There are so many people whose livelihoods are because of the IPL. And the only people who will always criticize the IPL are those who do not benefit from it, who do not get anything out of it. And you can see every single time, and it's amazing that every time I've spoken about this, they say, "Oh, but you're getting something from the IPL, and that's why you're speaking." And I turn around and say, well, maybe because you're not getting anything from the IPL, you're criticizing the IPL. Oh, no. Then the argument is, oh, we know Indian cricket and we think, we are thinking of the good of Indian cricket. Oh, I see. So you're the only ones who are going to be sitting in judgment and telling us what is good for our Indian cricket? No. So this IPL thing is only because of the money that it generates that brings about this J factor, and which is the reason you see the criticism. And, if somebody wants to, be a little famous, what better than to target the IPL? The IPL is a soft target.
This current team, they're getting there, semi-finals, finals, not winning. What is the problem, Sunny Bhai? And do you think with a World Cup next year in India, World Cup the following year in Aussie, the third year in India again in 23, does Virat have it in him as captain to go over the line? Because we desperately need to win one world championship. Your thoughts?
I agree with you. I think, a captain is actually defined by the world championships that he wins, the World Cups that he wins. You can win the Asia Cup, which is fantastic, but you also want to win World Cups because, that is where your standing as a captain is actually going to be enhanced. So what I've seen is that India's top 3 batting lineup is such a fabulous batting lineup that often it has happened that numbers 4 and 5 at the initial stages of the World Cups haven't really got an opportunity to play a long innings, to get their eye in, to feel the ball in the middle of the bat. And suddenly, when your top 3 are dismissed quickly, and that can happen in the odd match. Unfortunately for India, it has happened in a knockout game where there has not been much chance of a recovery. And so that is where the numbers 4, 5 have not been able to cope with the pressure of having lost your earlier prolific batsman. So what we need to look at really is to have somebody at 4, 5 and 6 who are very, very good batsmen, who otherwise would bat at number 1 or 1, 2 or 3, but because 1, 2 and 3 are occupied, they're batting at 4. That's an important aspect. I think we made a mistake in not having a proper number 4 for the World Cup. If for 2019 World Cup, if you had a proper number 4 for the World Cup, then it might have been a completely different story.